get a chance and take it. We bout to build it, ain't leaving it vacant. I just go harder, harder. I am unbothered, I gotta get it. I am so with it, I will go get it. That is the difference. I am not waiting, I am not faking. Everything out here, that's for the taking. My mind too right, my grind too tight. This head rhyme too nice. It's my world, my life. One shot, who me? Take that, movie. One shot, movie. That's all you need. One shot, who me? Take that, ooh-wee. One shot, movie. That's all.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
Ready.
Two and a throw right away. And incomplete on the deep ball.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Tua. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Once again, it's Mostert. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. They're going deep for Hill. And it is caught at the 10-yard line. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
This one taken just inside the 10.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. He'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Jackson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting this...
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And it's caught inside the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 10. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down 15-0 here already, needing to jumpstart this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Here's Tua, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chuck Clark. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. A first carry now for Chase Edmonds.
Naturally so. The defense was keyed in on everyone but the back on that play, and it took them an extra second to react when he got the carry. It's still a tough third down to pick up here, but a lot more manageable after an excellent carry on second down.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. From the gun, it's Tua. And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 13-yard line. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins. Jalen Waddle, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins take a 3-touchdown lead. Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points.
Makes the score Dolphins 22, Ravens nothing. Jason Sanders to kick off for Miami.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
For the first play of the drive, lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. It's Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. Only able to gain a couple there, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Jackson. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Raheem Mostert, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is caught at the 5. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And his throw is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Now Jackson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. Oh, they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. He's at the 40, the 20, and in for the Ravens touchdown.
Boy, CD, what a way to score. You want to talk about a roller coaster of emotions. They got the big play, then they cough it up. It seems to be disastrous, but his teammate is there to scoop it and score it.
Not much else I can add to that, partner. I'll just say one thing. We just saw momentum swing 7 times on one play.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Play action. Now it's Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on second down. Tua. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from going up by 30. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And a rout is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken just shy of the 10. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
13.
Throwing is Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. He'll get it inside the 20, and he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down. Here's Mostert again.
My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
Boy, tough spot here as they approach the line of scrimmage. A long way to go to try to pick up this first down.
And going deep for Hill. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Melvin Ingram in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield.
And he's out right at the 25. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Now Jackson back into his end zone. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Yeah, and he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
They'll try and run here with Mostert.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
The other would end to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Tua, a final shot before half. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. This fielded right at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the 2nd half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. With that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it.
And there he goes, right side. Touchdown. Mark Andrews. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Ravens come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 24-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime and sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Tua going to keep it running left. And he'll be taken down at the 18. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Tua. He'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Dolphins are going to get a fresh set of downs.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On 2nd and 10. Tua flush to his, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Justin Houston in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play, unable to connect in that attempt.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand
They've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones.
And the Dolphins are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line.
Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Raheem Mostert
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better teams has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Rowe.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Now it's Jackson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
And this returnable for Hill.
It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play.
Ready. Let's go. Ready.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller.
And the Ravens are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the...
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time.
Picked off Byron Jones. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
So the penalty on the offense, no need to accept that. They'll decline it, and the interception will stand. They fake the handoff. Now Tua.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
Well, at least it wasn't a turnover like the last drive. You'd think they'd make an adjustment and be ready to make up for that turnover. Instead, just another big play for the defense on that snap.
To try again after the sack.
Tua. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. 30.
And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 28-yard line.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting,
but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here we go. 2nd down and 8. Right back to Jalen Waddle for another catch.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Tua going to throw. He sets to fire deep.
And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Jackson, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua.
Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
Looking to pass. Tua. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson.
That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions. No late.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Jackson.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. The Miami defense trying to keep him out. They haven't let him in yet. Can they hold again here on 3rd and goal? Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Takes it at the 7.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. The 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff.
And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
One last shot for Jackson. He completes it to Beckham.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.